The high price we pay for pursuing the wrong things in life. We often find ourselves caught in a relentless pursuit of success, fame, and recognition, believing these to be the ultimate markers of a life well lived. But what if, in our fervent chase for these external validations, we're actually paying an exorbitant price that we fail to recognize until it's too late? This is the question we must grapple with as we embark on this exploration of the high cost we pay for pursuing the wrong things in life. Let's begin by examining the nature of our pursuits. What drives us to chase after certain goals with such unwavering determination? Is it genuine passion, or is it the allure of societal approval and the promise of immortality through remembrance? We, like Felix in our story, often find ourselves at crossroads, torn between the simple joys of life and the grandiose dreams of leaving an indelible mark on the world. Consider for a moment, what would you sacrifice for the guarantee of being remembered by history? Your free time? Your relationships? Your peace of mind? These are not hypothetical trade-offs, but very real choices we make, often unconsciously, as we navigate our life's path. The woman in our story presents Felix with a stark reality: the possibility of immense success and historical significance, but at the cost of everything else. This scenario forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth: our pursuits often demand more from us than we initially realize. We enter into a Faustian bargain, trading the richness of a well-rounded life for the singular focus on achievement. But why do we make these choices? Perhaps it's because we've been conditioned to equate success with worth, to see our value through the lens of our accomplishments rather than the quality of our relationships or the depth of our inner peace. We chase after titles, accolades, and wealth, believing these to be the keys to happiness and fulfillment. Yet, as we pursue these external markers of success, we often lose sight of what truly matters. We become so focused on the destination that we forget to appreciate the journey. We sacrifice our present moments for a future that may never come to pass, or worse, a future that arrives only to leave us feeling hollow and unfulfilled. I invite you to pause and reflect. What are you currently pursuing in your life? What price are you paying for this pursuit? Are you neglecting your health, your relationships, or your personal growth in the name of success? The woman in our story shows Felix visions of his potential future, a successful businessman revered by the world, but at what cost? He sees himself missing important family moments, perpetually stressed, and ultimately remembered more for his achievements than for who he was as a person. This raises a profound question: is being remembered by history worth the sacrifice of living a fulfilling life in the present? Are we not, perhaps, chasing a form of immortality at the expense of truly living? The irony is that in our relentless pursuit of leaving a mark on the world, we often fail to make a meaningful impact on the lives of those closest to us. We chase after the approval of strangers while neglecting the love and connection offered by our friends and family. We strive to be remembered by history books but forget to create lasting memories with our loved ones. As we continue this exploration, I urge you to consider: what would your life look like if you pursued what truly matters to you, rather than what you believe will impress others or secure your place in history? What if the most profound impact we can have is not on the world at large, but on the individual lives we touch every day? In the next part, we'll delve deeper into the nature of true success and fulfillment, and how our misguided pursuits often lead us astray from these essential aspects of a well-lived life. The mirage of greatness unmasking the illusion of worldly success. In our relentless pursuit of greatness, we often lose sight of what truly constitutes a life well lived. We chase after mirages of success, believing that once we reach them, we'll find the oasis of fulfillment we've been seeking. But like Felix peering into those mysterious holes, we're often confronted with a reality far different from our expectations. Consider the life of a celebrated business magnate or a renowned public figure. From the outside, their lives might seem glamorous, filled with accolades and adoration. But what lies beneath this shimmering surface? Often we find a life devoid of genuine connections, plagued by stress and haunted by the constant fear of losing what they've gained. Is this truly the success we aspire to? We must ask ourselves, what is the true measure of a life well lived? Is it the size of our bank accounts, the number of awards on our shelves, or the frequency with which our names appear in headlines? Or is it something far more subtle and profound? Perhaps true success lies in the quiet moments of contentment, in the depth of our relationships, in the peace we find within ourselves. Maybe it's not about being known by the world, but about being truly known by a few. Maybe it's not about leaving an indelible mark on history, but about touching the lives of those around us in meaningful ways. I invite you to pause and reflect. If you were to die tomorrow, what would you regret not having done? Would it be not having climbed higher on the corporate ladder, or would it be not having spent more time with loved ones, not having pursued your passions, not having lived authentically? The woman in our story shows Felix a vision of nothingness, a future where Earth itself has disappeared. This stark image serves as a powerful reminder of our own mortality and the impermanence of all things. In the face of this cosmic indifference, does our pursuit of worldly success not seem somewhat absurd? Yet this realization need not lead us to despair. Instead, it can liberate us from the tyranny of our misguided ambitions. When we truly internalize the fleeting nature of our existence, we're freed to pursue what genuinely matters to us, not what we think should matter. Consider the alternative path shown to Felix: a life of scientific exploration, of family, of genuine connections. This life may not lead to global recognition or historical remembrance, but it offers something far more valuable: a life rich in experience, love, and personal growth. We often forget that we are not just the protagonists of our own stories, but supporting characters in the lives of others. The impact we have on those around us, our families, friends, communities, is often far more profound and lasting than any grand achievement recognized by the world at large. So I ask you, what if instead of striving to be great, we focused on being good? What if instead of trying to change the world, we committed to changing ourselves and positively influencing our immediate sphere? In the end, the high price we pay for pursuing the wrong things in life is not just measured in time or missed opportunities. It's measured in the depth of relationships we never formed, the personal growth we never achieved, the inner peace we never found. It's measured in a life half lived, always reaching for a future that never quite arrives. As we move forward, let us consider how we might redefine success in our own lives. How can we align our pursuits with our deepest values and most authentic selves? How can we create a life that, even if not remembered by history, will be deeply meaningful to us and those whose lives we touch? The alchemy of authentic living, transmuting ambition into meaningful existence. In our journey through life, we often find ourselves caught in the whirlwind of ambition, chasing after goals that society has deemed worthy. But what if we've been reading the map upside down all along? What if the treasure we seek lies not at the end of a grueling expedition, but in the very ground beneath our feet? Consider for a moment the paradox of our existence. We are, as Felix discovered, both infinitesimally small in the grand scheme of the universe, and yet in our immediate sphere, capable of profound impact. This dual nature of our being calls for a radical reassessment of how we measure the value of our lives and pursuits. We often speak of finding our purpose as if it were a predestined path we must uncover. But what if purpose isn't something we find, but something we create? What if, instead of searching for a grand destiny, we focused on infusing purpose into every moment, every interaction, every choice we make? I invite you to ponder how might your life change if you stopped trying to be important to the world and instead focused on being important to your world. What if success was measured not by how high you climb, but by how many you lift as you rise? The woman in our story shows Felix visions of two potential futures, one of global renown and another of quiet fulfillment. But the true revelation lies not in these visions themselves, but in the power of choice they represent. Our destiny, as she wisely notes, is made of decisions. We are not passive passengers in our lives, but active creators of our reality. This realization is both liberating and terrifying. It means that the responsibility for our fulfillment lies squarely on our shoulders. We can no longer hide behind the excuse of circumstance or fate. Every moment presents us with a choice to pursue what truly matters to us or to continue chasing after mirages of success. But how do we discern what truly matters? In a world that constantly bombards us with messages about what we should want, how do we tune into our authentic desires? Perhaps the answer lies in stillness, in those quiet moments when we allow ourselves to simply be, free from the noise of external expectations. Consider the tree against which Felix sits. It doesn't strive to be anything other than what it is. It doesn't compare itself to other trees or worry about its legacy. It simply exists, offering shade, home to creatures, silently contributing to the ecosystem around it. What if we approached our lives with the same simple authenticity? This doesn't mean abandoning all ambition or resigning ourselves to mediocrity. Rather, it's about redirecting our ambition towards goals that align with our true selves. It's about pursuing growth not for the sake of outward success, but for the joy of becoming more fully who we are meant to be. I challenge you to ask yourself, what would you do if you knew that no one would ever know about it? What pursuits would still be worthwhile if they came with no external recognition or reward? These are the things that truly matter. The pursuits that nourish our souls rather than just padding our resumes. As we navigate this complex journey of life, let us remember that we are not just the sum of our achievements. We are the laughter we share with friends, the comfort we offer to loved ones, the small acts of kindness we perform without recognition. We are the wonder we feel at a starry sky, the resilience we show in face of adversity, the growth we achieve in overcoming our limitations. In the end, the life we build moment by moment, choice by choice, is far more valuable than any grand legacy we might leave behind. For in this authentic living, we find not just success, but something far greater. We find ourselves. The eternal echo of a life well lived, redefining legacy in the tapestry of existence. As we draw our exploration to a close, let us turn our gaze to the horizon of our lives and contemplate the legacy we wish to leave behind. Not the legacy etched in stone or printed in history books, but the one woven into the fabric of existence itself. We often speak of leaving our mark on the world. But what if the most profound impact we can have is not a mark at all, but a ripple that spreads outward, touching lives in ways we may never see or fully comprehend? Like Felix's simple act of studying nature, our seemingly insignificant choices can have far-reaching consequences, shaping the world in subtle yet powerful ways. Consider the butterfly effect, the idea that the flap of a butterfly's wings can influence the path of a hurricane weeks later. In the same way, our smallest actions, our quietest words, our most private thoughts all contribute to the grand symphony of existence. We are all connected, all part of a vast, intricate web of life. I invite you to ponder how might your life change if you viewed every interaction, every decision as a thread in this cosmic tapestry. How would you treat others? How would you treat yourself if you truly internalize this interconnectedness? The woman in our story shows Felix a vision of nothingness, a stark reminder of the impermanence of all things. But perhaps this void is not an end, but a beginning. Perhaps it's a canvas upon which we paint our lives, stroke by stroke, choice by choice by choice. Our legacy, then, is not what remains after we're gone, but the beauty we create while we're here. This shift in perspective can be profoundly liberating. It frees us from the tyranny of external validation, allowing us to pursue what truly resonates with our souls. It enables us to find joy in the journey rather than fixating on the destination. It empowers us to live authentically, unburdened by the weight of others' expectations. But with this freedom comes responsibility. If every action ripples out into the world, then we must be mindful of the ripples we create. Are we spreading love or fear, kindness or indifference, growth or stagnation? The choice, as always, is ours. I challenge you to ask yourself, what kind of ripples do you want to send out into the world? How can you align your daily actions with your deepest values? How can you cultivate a life that, even in its quietest moments, contributes positively to the grand tapestry of existence? As we conclude, let us return to Felix, sitting against his tree, contemplating his future. Like him, we all face moments of decision, crossroads where we must choose our path. But unlike Felix, we don't have the luxury of magical visions to guide us. We must navigate by our own inner compass, guided by our values, our passions, and our understanding of what truly matters. Remember, the high price we pay for pursuing the wrong things in life is not just measured in missed opportunities or wasted time. It's measured in the depth of connection we never experienced, the personal growth we never achieved, the inner peace we never found. It's measured in a life half lived, always reaching for a future that never quite arrives. But it's never too late to change course. Every moment presents an opportunity to realign our pursuits with our authentic selves, to choose meaning over empty success, connection over isolation, growth over stagnation. In the end, our true legacy is not what we leave behind, but who we become along the way. It's the lives we touch, the love we share, the growth we inspire in others and ourselves. It's the sum total of our choices, our actions, our very being. So I leave you with this final question. When you reach the end of your journey, what story do you want your life to tell? Not to the world, but to yourself. Let that be your guide as you navigate the complex, beautiful, challenging journey of life. For in that authentic living, you will find not just success, but something far greater. You will find yourself, and in doing so, you will have lived a life truly worth living.